G'day folks, remember this spot? I'm right in the middle of Wangaratta where just 2 days ago I caught my last Murray cod of the season. That was the 31st of August. Now it's the 2nd of September and I've come back, but I'm not targeting Murray cod. Hey you! You're watching Robbie Fishing. Right, now I'll put my lines in. This rod up here is the worm rod. I'll just put that there, right in front of the bank. And my second rod, this rod here, I'll fix up my Simon Humphrey rod holder. This second rod is the worm rod. They're both worm rods. In all my last videos down the river here, just recently, I've sort of said, well, this is the worm rod, this is the cheese rod. But because of the closed cod season, I haven't got a cheese rod. I've just got 2 worm rods in. Now, I caught 2 cod in the last few days before the season closed, and they were both caught on cheese. I didn't catch any on worms. But you do catch cod on worms. Cod do take worms. But usually what I find is the cod that I catch on worms are the smaller cod. The whole idea of the closed Murray cod season is to protect them during spawning season. And they usually spawn at around about 50 centimetres on average. I reckon probably 9 out of 10, if not more, of the cod that I catch on worms are under that 50 centimetre size. So by sitting in one spot, using worms, I'm less likely to interrupt any spawning Murray cod. If I do catch one, I'll quickly unhook it and put it back, no problems at all. No questions asked. So the cheese has been put away for the next 3 months. The lures have been put away for the next 3 months. But believe me, I'll still be doing a lot of this type of fishing with worms, or maybe worms and corn. Especially the longer lockdown continues, the more of it I'll be doing, because it's all I've sort of got within 5 kilometres of Wangaratta. Now the other big drama that I've got going on this morning is I'm out of worms. I knew the container was getting low, and I had a look in, there was only 3 of my Jan Juck worms left. I put 2 on one hook and 1 on the other. So I'm not sure how many fish I'll catch this morning, but I'll be lucky if I catch 2, because any more than that I won't catch any. In the summer months, that's a real problem, because the shrimp will peck away at the worms and you'll run out of worms in no time. This time of year the shrimp are quiet, so the worms generally tend to last a lot longer. And on the trips where I've been catching nothing, I've been leaving 2 hours after I start with the same worms on the hook. So if I catch a fish and lose the worms, I'm down to 1 rod. If I catch 2 fish, that's a double fish mission, and then I go home. Anyway, let's sit back and wait and see if my final 3 Jan Juck worms can catch a fish. And on a positive note, I've got more Jan Juck worms at home. I've got another container in the fridge. I thought about bringing it, but I thought I had a few more than 3. Getting a nibble on my worms here. Something's playing with it. Got him. What have I got? A crayfish by the feel of it. Yep, will I get him out? Mate, she's got eggs, look. Mate, crayfishing season closed 2 days ago and I've only got 3 worms. I'd prefer if you moved upstream or downstream or something, but I'm going to get a quick photo of you. 2 days after the season closed. She's got eggs, and I reckon she'd be undersized anyway. I don't think she'd be 10 centimetres, but I'm just going to move her up here a little bit. Only not far. I don't think it's good to move them too far from where you caught them, so I'll just move her up here 10 or 15 metres. See you later, love. Well, I'm on the board, just not with what I was after, but that's cool anyway. How many Jan Juck worms looking? These are very, very tough worms. If 2 worms are going to survive 2 hours of fishing, it's going to be these ones. Please tell me that's not another crayfish bite. I'm getting another nibble on my worms here. There's another bloody... Oh, I got off. There was another bloody crayfish. I got onto it straight away because I don't want to lose my worms. That could spell disaster. Right. That was another crayfish bite. Here we go again. It's been like 5. That's a fish, maybe. It might be a fish bite, I think, this one. I didn't strike in case it was a crayfish, but I should have struck. I reckon that was a fish bite, that one. Looked a lot more fishy than crayfishy. Doing a nibble on this right on the left here, yeah? Got him! What have I got? What have I got? Whoa, it's a huge carp. It's not even really fighting. Look at the size of it. It's hardly even fighting. It just comes straight up. It must be sick. It's huge. I hooked it and it just floated straight to the surface. Look at it. This is the worst fight I've ever seen from a carp. Oh. It's huge, but it just fought terribly. That is the quickest carp catcher I've ever made, even with 6-pound line. Even with heavy line, I haven't reeled him in that quick. That's quite a long carp. 67 centimetres. 67 centimetres, and it fought like a wet sock. Notice how it's nice and flat. The other day it was going sideways like this. When I use the auto horizon leveling, it works well while the camera's upright, but when I pan it down it moves around a lot. So I've turned it off for this scene. And now that carp has been disposed. I'm down to 2/3 of a worm. There's still a fair bit of worm on the hook, but his tail's been nipped off, but it's gonna have to do. Got to admit though, I'm making the most out of my 3 worms that I brought with me. I can't believe that. It's the biggest carp I've caught for months and the worst fight that I've had with a fish for years. It just came in, it barely even fought. It'll fight a lot worse now. That's empty. I've taken all the dirt out and threw it in the river when I started after I dug the last 3 worms out. Can't believe I forgot to bring the full punnet of worms. But I can't believe I started with only 3 worms, and so far I've already caught 1 crayfish and 1 carp, and I've still got 2 lines in the water. That one there admittedly hasn't got much of a worm left, but it has got a little bit of a worm on it. This one is still in okay shape. I'm starting to wish that I didn't give you that worm the other day. I could do with just 1 more worm at the moment. Getting a bite on me, half a worm. Missed it. Wasn't a bad bite, that. We've still got 1/4 of a worm. That was a nice bite, that. Bugger missing that. Here we go, just getting a nibble on this rod now. A few bites this morning. Got him. Yes. No, another carp, I think. The way it's going out there. It is too. Bloody bite centrally. I'm going alright. This one's fighting typical carp style, unlike the last one. This one's actually fighting. The other one just comes straight up. Don't go and tangle with me other rod, you bloody nuisance. Whoa. I don't know what the go was with that other one. Tell you what, there's going to be some pretty fat crayfish and water rats downstream of here over the next couple of weeks. This is how carp should fight. This is the only thing we love about them. I'll keep my eye on that other body. Oh, I wonder if I've still got any worms left on here. I just had a nice bite on that rod there a moment ago. There's a tail slap going on there. Make sure I'm filming here somehow. Oh yeah, camera's going. Camera's rolling. It's not ready to come in. This is what carp usually fight like. That last one was just off the scale stupid. It just came straight up to the top. I've never seen anything like it. I'll just keep looking over at my other rod here if you see me panning my head around a bit, because that just had a nice bite just a minute or so before I caught this, or hooked this. Right, getting into position. I want to get down a bit lower, but the bank's very slippery. The further down I get, the slipperier it is. I can see the worms. The worms are up the line from the hook. I might be able to throw them back on and still keep fishing for a bit longer yet, if I'm lucky. Come on, I want to land him before I lose those couple of worms. Look at the bend in the rod. Don't snap the line. The worms, there's still worms there. There's still worms there. That's all my focus is on those bits of broken worm hanging off the line there. Come on, come on, come on. So close, so close. Got him. Oh, Jesus. There's a sick looking carp with this red rash on him, eh? Right, not as long as the other one, I don't think. He's about 59, but much, much, much fatter and much fitter for now. Oh, yeah. Stay there long enough for me to get a photo, mate. The sun hasn't even come up and I've caught 2 carp, 1 crayfish, had a couple other bites, all on the same 3 worms. Now look, there's still a little bit of worm there. I'm going to thread that worm back on a bit. Doesn't look very pretty, but I reckon it can still catch me another fish. It's very mangled. They're very, very, very tough, these worms. Very tough. Very thick-skinned, literally. When you leave, usually with worms I just whack me right on the water and the worms come off the hook, but these ones don't. You've got to actually pull them off by hand. No matter how much you whack no matter how much you just go whack and whack it on the water, thinking the worms will fall off the hook, they just don't. Righto folks, that's it for me. I'm about to reel my lines in and head home. I came down with 3 worms and I caught 2 carp, 1 crayfish and a few other bites. I got a lot of mileage out of my worms. Righto folks, thanks very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed my early morning worm fishing session. If you have, why not give it a big fat thumbs up and hit that subscribe button, and hopefully I'll see you in my next video.